which kind of piggybacks into they're also considering the return of the Earn a Buck program. What are your thoughts on that?
I feel like my opinion might be a little bit different than you guys, I guess, but I'm all for it. Like, I am all for Earn a Buck. If that is what it's going to take to shut these guys up about what we need to do about the deer herd, so be it. I'll shoot a doe. Like, you can shoot a doe late in the season one year, and that gets you your buck tag for the following year. So then if you have that late holiday hunt that's antlerless only, that gives me a reason to go do that, kill that steer like they want, and then I have my buck tag for the following year. I'm all for that. I don't know. What are you guys' thoughts?
I'm all for the Earn a Buck. I think it's an extremely smart program, but the problem is most people don't follow it. I mean, one guy out of a group shoots a doe, everybody tags it, and nobody follows the rules. If it's a program that's set in place where you actually have to shoot a doe and then you get a buck tag, I think that's really smart because then you're, harvesting 50-50 buck to doe ratio. But the problem is one guy shoots a doe and all these other guys are too lazy or they don't want to go shoot a doe in order to get a buck tag. So 10 different guys are running their tag across this doe and they just skew the whole program, which is wrong. But if it was ran effectively, I think it would be an awesome route to take, but no one's ever going to follow it.
A big problem that arises there is this whole online registration. Because
exactly.
I shot a doe.
That's the other thing I was going to bring up is that you can just literally now, unless you got to do something special for that Earn a Buck sticker, you could literally just go online and be like, oh yeah, I shot a doe, and put in your tag number and you get your sticker.
It doesn't work.
Imagine that.
So you're going to see the numbers, you're going to see your doe harvest go up through the roof, but they're not killing those deer.
Yeah, well, exactly. DNR coming over and saying, "Hey, prove to me that you shot a doe," instead of, "Hey, prove to me you didn't poach."
Well, they should.
That's such a weird thought.
For Earn a Buck to be effective, you'd almost have to have DNR check-in stations, and you would have to go in there and show them the doe in order to get your buck tag. That's the only way it would work.
You'd have to bring it back, the check-in stations back.
And talking on with like Brennan saying, people pretty much screw the system on it. I remember when they first started, or when Earn a Buck was actually a big thing years ago, roadkills, they would have people or counties that would go around and spray paint the deer on, because people would just take in roadkills and enter them as their doe kill, and hey, I got a buck tag. So now you add this online registration. I mean, come on.
It's just prime for corruption.
So where I live, even though it's bow hunting, and everything, but it's it's Earn a Buck. I do the city hunt, so you have to shoot a doe first. Well, there's a lot of guys, what they call it is the phantom doe, just registering it online. But in the last few years, what they started doing is they'll assign a city cop to be monitoring it. I think it's kind of only opening weekends. So I've heard of guys getting busted, but if a doe gets registered, the cop will kind of randomly show up at your house because they have everything on file and prove where's your doe. And I mean, so I would never register a phantom doe, but I like the Earn a Buck system, in general, but it is hard to, monitor.
I think it depends. I have mixed views on it. I think it's great in areas where it can work well. There's certain areas of the state of Wisconsin that you can't do it. The deer population's just not there. Northern Wisconsin, you can't be harvesting does at this point. It's that herd up in northern Wisconsin, if it ever comes back, it's years away from getting back to what it used to be. Really, the only two key areas in the state of Wisconsin I feel like that should have maybe an Earn a Buck in place would be your Wapaka, Marathon counties up Tigerton area, where the deer per square mile ratio is just absolutely insane. Some areas in southwest Wisconsin, it could be an effective program, but there's just so many loopholes in it that I don't see it working the way it should. If everyone was honest, it could work great.
Agreed. I agree 100%.
Yeah. That's a fact. I really wish we had some sort of honest Earn a Buck program here in Tennessee, man. Our management is not amazing. And it really sucks. in light of Kentucky just to the north of us, who does such a good job with their wildlife management. But yeah, that seems to be the common theme. It's just getting too political and not enough common sense. But I don't know. I like Earn a Buck overall. I think it's a good program. Like you guys said, though, if you got to have honesty, you got to have people buying into it. And how many problems in general would it solve? Or like, what do you guys think the state of hunting would be if we went back to checking in your game at check-in stations? Because
I love it.
I miss that. I think that's
for sure.
I think in the state that's a general consensus. It's just that the state made it so easy that it's like, at this point, I would love to go. It was the coolest part about killing a deer, going and taking it to the tab and watching your dad drink one when you were a kid, and you guys go out and they put the clip in the ear. That was awesome. That was sweet. I don't know why we don't do that anymore.
Even with turkeys, I mean, you were able to go in and you got to weigh every bird, and give you a reason to drink a beer at 7 o'clock in the morning.
As if we needed any more.
Well, and a lot of these
Like we need a reason to do that.
A lot of these local bars, not only with registration, but it brought in business for them, but they had, buck pools, they had turkey pools, things like that, that also, it just gave you another reason to enjoy the experience a lot more.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So one thing that the Earn a Buck kind of brings out that I'm curious to hear what you guys would think on it is, as far as outfitters go, and having Earn a Buck, that really screws their clientele as far as being able to come in from out of state on a 5-day hunt. Do you think there should be any sort of exception there, or do you think the outfitter could go out and kill does for clients? Could you grade those does?
Yeah, I mean, obviously that would be an exception, but I think it would be something where the outfitter would be allotted, a certain number of doe tags that they have to fill, for their hunters that are coming in that ain't gonna be able to shoot a doe in a 5-day hunt, without focusing on a buck.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that would obviously be an exception, but I think that's one way around it, is just give the outfitters the same number of doe tags as hunters that are coming in, or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, plus then they're banking on all that meat they can be serving their clients.
I wonder what it would do
to food stores.
To non-resident bow hunters, like that aren't going through an outfitter.
I'd say in that respect, they have every ability to come and do the late season hunt or the doe hunt late in the year prior to their hunt to kill a deer to bank on their buck tag for the following year, or make an early trip. I guess that's an inconvenience, but if you know that going into it, it's just a part of it.
Yeah. Plus, I don't see that as a huge issue. I think anywhere that you want to be implementing an Earn a Buck program, your sex ratio is all messed up. You probably have plenty of opportunity to shoot a doe right off the bat.
Yeah.
Like there's a good chance, your first day. Yeah. Your first day, shoot a doe. And I would imagine that most of these outfitters are more than capable of making that happen, for their clients. So I don't know how much of an issue that would be.
Well, and for Wisconsin too, I mean, we're not a state that has an abundance of outfitters. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that there's not too many actual outfitters that bring in a lot of out-of-state hunters or even in-state hunters that go to these outfitters. I mean, I know there's a couple over by Buffalo County. There might be a couple south, but you think there's a lot?
I think there's a lot. I would venture to bet there's got to be 100 outfitters. So I mean, if they're running 30 clients through a year, I mean that's a lot. You're talking about a solid number of deer that could potentially be harvested as a result of an Earn a Buck program being brought in on their behalf.
Yeah. Well, how many clients per year are you putting through the system there at Sticky D's Strut Zone?
I feel like it sounds bad when it sounds like we're outfitting. That's illegal. We don't do that.
Sorry. My bad.
We have honored guests come aboard, and Mike entrusts them with his good spots, and we go hunting.
It's a very friendly get together. No money changes hands.
There's no transactions.
I should have thought that out. I should have thought that through before I mentioned that.